Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Good to see you back here again. Listen here, we have some hot topics going on tonight. We are going to be switching things up. We will be going live a little bit later to discuss the season 9 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. So, you already know I had to say the best for last. Oh, absolutely. So, without further ado, I'm not going to hold you up a good time. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into this. So, I was going to cover um, Miss Wanda Smith's um, death, but I think that I'm just going to let her family, um, continue to prepare for her memorial service. But we definitely want to send our condolences out to her family um, and her loved ones that she did leave behind. Let's see. Shall we go to my bedroom tonight? Yeah, we should go to the bedroom. All right, so let's get into it. I want to go on over here to Instagram and see what is trending. I believe Naomi Campbell is trending right now because, as you all know, her and P. Diddy were very, very, very close friends in the industry. And so, yeah, Naomi, the people are kind of like questioning what's going on. I don't know if it's music in here, but if it is, I'm going to have to mute it. But let's go ahead and get into it.
Want to look like Linda Evangelista Madonna.
Okay, so that's, oh, wow. All right. So that was Tyra Banks' return to Victoria's Secret one way after nearly 20 years. Let's get into it. Tyra is giving body, honey. She is serving curvaceous. Honey, it looks like she got on her waist trainer or she got snatched before the show. But baby, everything is curvaceous. Everything looks amazing. Shout out to Miss Tyra Banks. Yes. I remember when she did her last walk. That was what, like 2005? Oh, wow. She looks fabulous. Yes. Then you have curvy girls now because curvy girls weren't, really acknowledged, in the industry. It was always slim and, you know, look like you about to leave up out of here. Let's get into these comments. Shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Naomi Campbell with a little story post. Is it shade or all love? Okay. So let's get into it.
Madonna. Get you on your knees like a preacher. Iconic. I want to be
Okay.
That's perfection for me.
want to walk.
That was perfection for me. Okay. So, yeah. Someone says, "Girl." Well, the Shauna book says, "Girl, they can bring Tyra and Heidi. I ain't leaving. Bad girl savvy Fenty. How the F is this shade? See how y'all start? I took it as she was giving tens. Right. She literally saying Tyra walk was perfection. I took it as Naomi celebrating her. The song says, I want to walk like Tyra. Is shade in the room with us? What would be shady about that post? Okay, so no. So I think what they're talking about is this young lady right here in the orange. She's walking to, I want to walk like Tyra. Because she's a Tyra fan. Do you not get it? Like she didn't want to walk like Miss Naomi Campbell, no shade. She wanted to walk like Tyra. I think that's fair. We have nobody can tell me, oh, you just like this person. Oh, you can't like these two people at the same time. And I think that's what social media has done and just in general, it's kind of like enhanced it. You know, it's just kind of like enhanced it. All right, let's look into these comments. Um, Naomi, you need to return them cigarettes. He was buying off that charity money. Oh, child. Someone says Naomi don't care about being shady or that foundation. Oh. Meanwhile, the song says walk like Tyra. I don't know what it was, but looking at Tyra's feet the entire time, I don't know what that was either. I love Tyra. What are they seeing? So are they seeing like Tyra was not looking good in her walk? Let's take a look again. Here, I'll bring this up. I'll bring it up just a little bit more so you all can see. I mean, Tyra's curvaceous, honey. I mean, at least she didn't fall. I mean, that's a model's worst nightmare is falling on the runway in front of like thousands of people. And like in this day and age, people have their cell phones. People have their cell phones out. People are looking for a moment to do it, you know? But they were seeing, I mean, it looks like she's just, oh, well, she's got a lot of weight on her now, you know? I mean, not in a bad way. She's curvaceous, but she's not as thin as she was back then. So, yeah, I think they're just hating on Miss Tyra Banks. Shout out to Miss Tyra Banks. All right. Before she was known as a singer Shaka Khan, 16-year-old Yvette Stevens joined the Black Panther Party. All right. So, some history.
Freedom. We want the power to control the destiny of our black community. Number two, we want full employment for our people. Number three, we want an end to the robbery by the white man of our black communities. Number four, we want decent housing fit to shelter human beings. Number five, we want education for our people that teaches us the true nature of this decadent American society. Education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present day society.
What are we doing daily? Like I said before, we are organizing the community, going into different people's homes, politically educating them, telling them exactly what is going on, not only here in Oakland, but in America and throughout the world. See, many black people are not aware of what is going on in America or what is going on in South Africa or over there in France, for instance. We organize, since the black community is not a reading community, we talk to them, show them examples. In our paper, we have pictures,
All right, Black History's unlocked mission is to inform the world of history that most people didn't learn in school. To support BHU, please consider buying our digital PDFs, Black History Facts, you probably didn't learn in school, or donating. So you can hit them up on Instagram. It's Black History Unlocked. Okay. Now let's get into this. Newlywed is blasted with 15 bullets and unalive just hours after getting married. Okay, so wow, this is in North Carolina. Wow. Pairs of the young man's family.
But any African American or Hispanic, and you know how well I'm doing there, that votes for Kamala, you got to have your head examined because they are really screwing you. But any African American.
All right, child. Let's get up into these comments. Let's get into this for posting it.
but any African American
To
or
the Jasmine brand. Trump says Black Americans and Hispanic Americans have to have their heads examined. Someone says every time he purposely says her name wrong, it irritates the F out of me. Textbook example of microaggression. Well, I'd rather have a whole psych evaluation than vote for you. Kamala, all the way to the ballot box. Someone says Cheeto's face. Every time you insult Black people, you showing all of us the reason we gonna continue to choose blue. Watch the Black man will not see anything wrong with this. Vote blue. Republicans don't care about you. A billionaire who can't get his people to organize buses to carry his supporters 5 miles. Yikes. Now, this is so disrespectful to any person of color. And if you would agree with him, may God be with you. Because these statements are getting out of hand from this felon. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that a president that's running for office should
American or
conduct
Hispanic,
themselves like that?
and you know
Should they say those things? You know,
how well I'm doing.
should they say those things? And he has so many charges up against him, like right now in the legal system. I mean, it's kind of a lot going on. Oh, we have company. Let's see. Hey, Ariel Summers. Let's see. Oops. Okay. Must be Trini Gal says she looks good, doesn't she? I think Tyra Banks looks good. Yeah, I think she looks good. Okay, good night. Just stop by to support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hope says, I hate Tyra Banks. Oh my goodness. Why? What does she do? What does she do? What are we unaware of, child? Let me know. Okay. Let me see. All right. So we are down to Diddy asks feds to reveal alleged victims' names necessary for his defense. Diddy says federal prosecutors are making it impossible for him to mount a defense because they refuse to give up the names of his accusers in the criminal case. Let's get into some of these comments to see what the people are saying. If they are accusing him, their names should be revealed. Someone says he's trying to get his hit list ready so he can put a hit. Y'all got to tell him no. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to play with him. Someone says, regardless of what you feel about Diddy, people need to remember that he's only being accused and the presumption of innocence still exists. With that being said, he has a constitutional right to know who his accuser is. He has a constitutional right to be able to confront his accusers. He has a constitutional right not to be blindsided by the evidence against him. So, child, whoever his lawyers are, child, is this one of his lawyers, child? Child. All right now. Someone says you mean to put a hit on? Child, you know that people are gonna get in there and from past experiences, allegedly, people have maybe assumed or maybe pushed a thought or opinion that he could have possibly been attached to some of the deletions that happened in hip hop history. We'll just say it that way, okay? Someone says, here comes pneumonia for them. Oh, needs the list for the hit squad. Someone says, so they can all die mysteriously? No, did it. Protect them. He going to get them all whacked. He's still trying to control, shaking my head, so he can threaten and tamper with. The feds hiding accusers don't sound right to me. They just be setting people up sometimes. Right. Well, like I said, his defense team, his lawyers, seems like they are on it. I mean, it made the headlines. It made the headlines. So somebody's back there pulling strings. Somebody's working behind the scenes. All right. Now let's go ahead and get into this next story. Okay. Oops. Safari files a petition to reduce his $4,305 per month child support payment and asks judge to make Erica Mena pay his legal fees. Oh, shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk. Neighbors get into this. Safari is requesting a judge lower his child support payments to his ex-wife Erica Mena. In the documents obtained by In Touch, they are claiming the couple reached a divorce settlement back in 2022, but recently learned Safari filed a petition in Georgia court back in June of 2023 to reduce his payments of $4,305 per month. In Safari's new petition, he stated he no longer makes $61,000 per month, and there has been significant change in circumstances regarding the custodial arrangement as well. He claims he typically keeps his children for 3 to 4 weeks at a time instead of the 12 days prescribed. He says his income has changed because he is not appearing as a full-time cast member on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and his bookings have slowed down as a direct result of Erica's actions. In the suit, he is claiming Erica referring to him as claims a deadbeat to her 6 million followers has resulted in him booking fewer jobs due to the majority of his fan base being female. In addition to all this, he is claiming Erica's income has increased, so he requested the judge lower his income and make Erica pay his legal fees. Neighbors, maybe he blew it all at the Nicki concert. What are your thoughts? I feel like he threw it away. Well, I don't think that he threw it away. I think that he was depositing that coin into Papa Bear's accounts. You know, I mean, she's moved on with her life. She's married. She even had her husband there. I'm not really understanding what's his obsession with Miss Nicki Minaj. Now it's one thing to come to the concert, but then you bring this whole heap of security. Like, I mean, they were protecting Beyonce or something, you know? And Miss Beyonce don't even have that many security. She only has what's his name? Roy, Justin, I believe his name is. Someone says, I know she regard giving him a chance every day. She gonna say, oh, but you spent thousands on Nicki tickets for her concert. So Mariah says, so disgusting. This is the women who mothers your children, regardless of what they go through. I would expect him to do better. There's 2 beautiful children that came out of it. Child, he ain't got it. Ain't no way. Was he kicked off Love and Hip Hop or did he quit? Someone says, nah, buying other kids baby Rolex, but look at this. Oh, this is a sign to pick the right man to father your kids, someone says. Whew, Safari, I feel like he needs to grow up. He needs to move on and keep it pushing, you know. All right, we got a few more that we're going to cover, and then we are going to close this broadcast out.
That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
You got to start with the top. You starting with the top. Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he whacked the shit off his shoe, it still sinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the picks. I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass. The eggs break, they say they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. They haven't been in those butt naked parties. Even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but it's proof.
That's why
All right, so those are some allegations from Suge Knight. He is currently incarcerated. behind bars. And what he is saying is Puff Daddy is not the only one. He did not start this. There's pretty much a chain of command. Like you're at your job, you have your boss is a boss, your boss is a boss. And you get what I'm saying? So top of the chain. So you have these executives, CEOs, producers, and then you have, you know, the secretaries, you have the assistants, you have and so on and so forth. It goes down the chain, right? Then it gets down to the artists. So the artists that are coming in, let's be honest, all of them get into the business to make money. They want to be the next thing popping. They want to be the next trending star. They want to have the ads. They want to get the revenue. They want, the financial gain. It doesn't come overnight. You have to put in that work. And some, went a different direction.
What do that don't mean nothing.
Okay, so now get into this story, y'all. 64-year-old pregnant woman shares her experience telling her child's father she's expecting. Let's get into it.
That do not mean nothing.
It's no more good.
Well, you will find out if I'm any good or not.
And if the DNA test ain't right, I'm going to have to lock you up now.
You're not going to have me locked up. Your ass is going to be the one getting locked up.
What? We got to find this out, Judy. You couldn't have that, Judy. You said them eggs was...
I ain't never told you nothing like that. I'm really angry about this because I'm going through this and stuff, and you're trying to deny that this is not your baby, and it is.
Yeah, I just felt like it was just good to stay busy and stay away from the phone because ain't nothing good coming from that phone. And what's the baby name going to be?
His name going to be Peanut.
What? Can't be real, Judy. We got to get on the good foot and get this thing here and figure this thing out here. So we got to get to the bottom.
Okay, we'll get to the bottom of it. I'm getting off this phone.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay, she's 64. She's pregnant. Congratulations. I don't know. I thought that this was kind of like a prank. You just never know what's kind of like real nowadays with all these pranks and stuff going on. But, you were out there busting it down, Grandma, or getting bust down like Grandpa. And, it happens. So what do you do now? I think, I don't know. We're going to follow this story, but congratulations to her. Let's get into these comments because y'all already know. Okay, so let's get into it. Somebody said the baby gonna come out 43 years old with arthritis and knee pain. Child update. Miss Judy says she's having an abortion. Oh, baby gonna come out without kneecaps and fingernails. Someone says these comments is insane. Child. Someone says she's still in her prime. Yeah, sorry. I can't stop laughing. Arguing with your baby daddy at 64 is nasty. What? Work. Lord have mercy. Well, it happened in the Bible. Even the argument sound old as hell. LOL. That baby gonna come out eating butter pecan ice cream and watching The Young and the Restless, honey. Okay, let's get into it. Older people argue so civil. They let each other talk and everything. 64 and still upping is exactly how I want to be. Somebody said they still want to be throwing their legs up at 64. Honey, listen here. Do your thing, honey. Mama was doing her thing, but she had a hope that it was just that man that she was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because Mama, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. All right, so
no movies. I said that's not my style. That's not what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I could have put up movies. I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there playing basketball.
Hey, Norris, Tony, how are you? Good to see you. Hey, good to see you. I'm up here doing some late night hot topics. And then I'm gonna cover the Real Housewives of Potomac. That's gonna be like my last show, but I think I have like 4 or 5 shows that I have to do. Yes, good to have you here.
Well, you can't tell me you didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and shit on R. Kelly's rap. You can't tell me, you won't sit here and tell me that working on that album that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
It's wrong. No movies. I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Yeah, I could have put up movies. I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it.
Now that's Nas speaking about R. Kelly and Jay-Z, the behavior of Bad Boy Records. I mean, we all knew about the tour that Jay-Z, the Best of Both Worlds tour, right? And once those allegations, Jay-Z kind of is doing what he's doing right now, separating himself from R. Kelly and also from Diddy, allegedly. Okay, so where are we on this? Okay, I think we have one more time. I think we have time for one more.
People. Well, I mean, you must remember that, you know, one of the most terrible crimes in the history of mankind took place in this country. For close to 350 years, Black people were murdered, raped, hung, and forced to work for no money, not for a year, not for 3 years, not for 10 years, not for 50 years, but for 350 years. That's a long, long time, and that debt has not been paid. So Malcolm was the first one, and even before Malcolm, the Nation of Islam was the first organization that was pointing out the fact that there's been an imbalance, and they were looking it right in the eye, and he became their biggest spokesman and their most powerful speaker, and he confronted that issue. He said, this debt has to be paid. This has to be balanced out. This has to be dealt with. Were killed in this country.
All right, so on that note, that was very touching right there. Very, very, very touching. Listen here, I want to thank you so much for coming out here. Remember to send Wanda Smith, the radio host in Atlanta, V103. She passed away, and we want to keep her and her family in our prayers and share the good memories. If you did not know, make sure you tell one of your loved ones that Miss Wanda has went to glory. On that note, I have to drop y'all off in Queen City. So long.